Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, December 22nd, 2015. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Director of Public Prosecutions, or the DPP, Colin Williams, has described the first ever sentencing in the High Court yesterday under the Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering or Prevention Act, Chapter 181 of the Laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Revised Edition 2009, as a good day for law enforcement and the rule of law. This statement was made in a media release dated today, Wednesday, December 22nd, after High Court Judge Kathy Ann Lechu sentenced Kamal Tito Deroshe, also known as Travi of Sign Hill, yesterday for the offense of possession with intent to supply 4,299 grams of cocaine. Justice Lechu found Deroshe benefited from drug trafficking in the sum of $686,118.63 over a 6-year period prior to his arrest on November 14th of 2012. The media release further stated the High Court judge ruled that Deroshe has realizable assets amounting to $109,459.34, consisting of mainly rental vehicles, accounts at a bank, and at credit unions. Deroshe was ordered to pay the same $109,459.34 seized to the Registrar of the High Court by March 30th, 2016, or serve 7 years imprisonment in default. The Crown will be at liberty to apply for further sums if in the future he acquires new assets. The sum once paid will be transferred to the Confiscated Assets Fund. On the substantive charge of possession with intent to supply, he was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment with a time of 11 months spent on remand to be deducted. Deroshe was convicted at the Serious Offences Court in January of 2015. Following a full trial, he was intercepted by members of the Narcotics Unit of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force at Sign Hill Bay shortly after 6 p.m. The media release further stated that a crucial witness for the prosecution was a young man from French's who was in the trunk of the vehicle and who said that he was paid by Deroshe to retrieve the drugs from a vessel. Upon Deroshe's conviction, the Director of Public Prosecutions requested that the matter be sent on to the High Court for confiscation to be considered. Based on the prosecution's statement prepared by Corporal Pedro Harry of the Financial Intelligence Unit, it was shown that Deroshe accumulated assets over the relevant period without any corresponding legitimate source of income. In complimenting both the Narcotics Unit and the Financial Intelligence Unit, or the FIU, for a job well done, the DPP noted that he expects to see an increase in the number of confiscations as one of the most important weapons against acquisitive crimes and criminality is to confiscate or take away the ill-gotten gains of the perpetrators. This country's jail population now stands at a total of 441 inmates. This was disclosed today by Superintendent of Prisons Brenton Charles during a brief ceremony to mark the closure of the criminal session at the High Court in Kingstown. According to a release that was published by the High Court, there are 124 males, 1 female sentenced by the High Court, and there are 214 males and 1 female sentenced by the Magistrates Court. There are 35 non-nationals in custody, of which 8 are awaiting possible trial. Patrick Lovelace is the lone inmate on death row. To rehabilitate a man, you must first rehabilitate the mind and spirit, and according to Superintendent of Prisons Brenton Charles, this is their aim for inmates at Her Majesty's Prison and the Belle Isle Correctional Facility. Referring to the annual prison concert, Charles said that it was one of the many avenues used in the rehabilitation process for the inmates, all in the hope of them recognizing that greatness lies within themselves.
Avenue that we're using now within the institution to rehabilitate our inmates. We want them to recognize that they may run afoul of the law, but they're not all gone. There is some good, I know, within every individual, and some people are surprised to know that they can do the things that they're doing when they come on stage here, not checking them out before. So this is one avenue that we're using to rehabilitate our inmates.
Speaking of the involvement of persons who selflessly gave their time to teach the inmates new skills and values, Superintendent Charles noted that they are thankful for the services given.
We were fortunate this year to have with us Miss Vonnie Rodette. Miss Vonnie Rodette, Mr. Leon, they gave of their time and their talent, and they taught about 20 of our inmates this craft. So what they did in essence was to train some people who train other people who are inside. About 30 of our inmates were baptized. Every single day, we allow some member of some denomination to come in and hold service with our inmates, both here and at Belial's. So they are well taken care of where the Word of God is concerned. And that's something that we would continue and that we would further as much as we could.
In an effort to give the inmates an equal opportunity at life, Superintendent Charles said the program to have the inmates write the CXC Second Chance examinations will help them when they leave the prison walls.
This year, to have about 15 of our inmates to sit the CXC Second Chance program. And this year, they are eligible for certificates from the CXC because they have completed last year and this year, and so they're ready and they're going. And we have started also this year, in addition to the program, clothing and textile. We've started that, and then we're going to further develop all these programs so that we could have our men and our women better equipped, that when they leave here, they can be more productive and better citizens to serve our nation.
1 year after the outbreak of the Chikungunya virus, the region is now on high alert for the mosquito-borne Zika virus. St. Vincent and the Grenadines currently has no known cases of the Zika virus, whilst there have been no reported cases of the Chikungunya virus for 2015. Speaking with SVG-TV News earlier today, epidemiologist with the Ministry of Health, Dr. Rosamond Adams, pointed out that the region, not just St. Vincent and the Grenadines, has reported significant declines in Chikungunya since the outbreak in 2014 and attributes this to various factors.
Because one, there would have been possibly an increase in vector control activities that will have probably decreased the mosquito population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Or two, it could mean that people would have taken more precaution, more measures to protect themselves from mosquito bites. Or three, as we know, that once you've gotten chikungunya, then you cannot get it again. So you will have built up immunity to this. And for coming out of our 2014 outbreak, a large proportion of our population had chikungunya. So maybe with built up immunity, increased vector control activities, people being more careful now, people being careful that they don't get mosquito bites could have probably led to our figures decreasing significantly.
Commenting on the Zika virus, Dr. Adams stated that though the two diseases are spread by the same Aedes aegypti mosquito, the symptoms are not life-threatening and are much milder than in chikungunya. Dr. Adams explained some of the symptoms the public should look out for and some of the means of treating the Zika virus.
Now, Zika virus, the signs and symptoms are fever, conjunctivitis, which is a red eye. You may have diarrhea and vomiting. Your lower extremities or your feet will get swollen. The symptoms generally last for about 4 to 7 days and are a bit milder than chikungunya. Treatment of Zika virus is purely symptomatic, again like chikungunya, which are pain medication, hydration, and rest.
Recently, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, or CARPA, confirmed 5 cases of the Zika virus in a territory of the Caribbean community, placing member countries on high alert. With Christmas just 3 days away, Monsignor Michael Stewart, the Vicar General of the Roman Catholic Church, said Vincentians need not forget the reason for the celebrations. Speaking on Sunday's Hits Talk program, Monsignor Stewart made it clear that the Christmas celebrations must be in remembrance of Jesus Christ and also a reflection of one's spiritual growth.
Let's take the lighting, for example. You know, we have gotten into a culture of lighting up, whether it's properties, buildings around town, etc. Everybody's lighting up. But at the heart of the lighting up must be that Christ is the light of the world. if we are to reconcile with the Christian roots or the religious roots of Christmas. So this lighting up that we do must be reflective of the lighting up which must take place interiorly, and a lighting up which must affect and influence all aspects of our lives at all times. So it does not become a Christmas thing and then we live in darkness for the rest of the year.
Deputy Chairman of the Nine Mornings Committee, Lennox Bowman, said that due to foreign influences and the impact of technology, Vincentians must fight hard to keep various traditions alive, including the Christmas celebrations.
When we started the lighting up competition in the villages, the real reason why we did that was so that we can create an environment, and what Father Mike said is absolutely correct. We wanted to create an environment where we can then bring people together to share an experience in that kind of spiritual upliftment, because as a committee we've always said two things, and I mentioned them before. One, we need to keep Christ in Christmas, and secondly, in terms of like alcoholic beverages and so on, Christmas activities must not degenerate into a black hole.
And Deputy Chairman of the Nine Mornings Committee, Lennox Bowman, has expressed gratitude to the persons who helped to revive the Nine Mornings festivities. On Hits Talk, Bowman admitted that at one point the Nine Mornings activities was at a low, but the injection of several cultural activists ensured that the tradition did not die. He said that with the world now consumed by technology, this has affected how things occur culturally. However, Vincentians must never let their traditions die.
Nine Mornings now is not like Nine Mornings that it used to be. It could never be like how it used to be, because the culture is evolving. There are too many factors. People say, oh, we used to go for street walks. Nearly everybody has a car now. You know, I mean, there's so many street lights around the place. You're not even taking full advantage of the moonlight anymore. People say they stop go caroling. Everybody home now is fenced around. You know, caroling takes place in a different way. Sister Rennie was saying, now people write you and tell you that they're coming to invite your friends, and some of these things still happen. Even some of the traditional caroling still take place throughout. But there are a lot of us who might be just listening to other people, calling on the radio and say these things, and some of these people I don't even know if they go to a Nine Morning really, and we want to encourage a lot of that. So it is never going to be the same. Technology alone will determine that and guide that. It will never be the same.
The Deputy Chairman of the Nine Mornings Act festivities emphasized the need for Vincentians to embrace the changes that technology brings to help enhance the traditional cultural festivities.
In the electronic world, we're speaking about people not visiting anymore, but people speaking on cell phones and on chats and things is an entire world, you know. They get consumed in that world, and for all intents and purposes they feel that they're very connected, so there's not even the need. So these are the kind of things that some of the things that I think we have to look at. Lights, where I remember when in 1999 when we started the lighting up competition in the villages, the real reason why we did that was so that we can create an environment, and what Father Mike said is absolutely correct. We wanted to create an environment where we can then bring people together to share an experience in that kind of spiritual upliftment.
As the much-anticipated Christmas holiday approaches just in 3 days, SVG-TV News took to capital city Kingstown to check out how business has been going for some operators and customers. A number of store owners and street vendors had mainly the same complaint, that they have not been getting much sales as compared to the stores that do sell the much sought-after Christmas items such as toys, carpets, and curtains, etc. There are others who say in the last couple of days, things have been picking up.
Well, so far business has been going good, much better than I expected. People have been coming out, people have been supporting us. People have been, well, some people might say that the time is hard, but it's good still. Yeah, Christmas has been going good. Well, for me personally, Christmas means sharing, caring, helping others. Yeah, and be loving to people. Well, my advice of intention is right now, no matter how it might seem, as how hard it might seem for you, just take your time and be gentle in whatever you're doing. Take your time to care for someone. Even though you can't give them much, give them as little as you can.
How has business been going for you this Christmas?
We have to say thank God. It may start with slow, but it's picking up now. Picking up, yeah.
What does Christmas mean to you?
Well, a lot of joy and love. That's what the people want, the people to be united and love each other again. Because they were, you know how the election affect them, like divert them a little bit from the right path. I could say that from the bottom of my heart, wish them Merry Christmas to all our customers, and we wish them that the new year will bring up a lot of joy and happiness to everyone here.
And what are some of these stuff that you have to offer for Christmas?
We have a lot of stuff. Every year we have more items included, but mainly like curtain, toys for children, clothing, all kind of things we have, household items, kitchen items,